In the fight, people say that I'm amazing, strong beyond my years, but they don't see inside of me. I'm hiding all tears. They don't know that I go running home when I fall down. They don't know who picks me up when I'm on the ground.
your audio.
Close it?
Unless you want something else playing in the background.
No. That was for the processional. That is closed.
see their faces. She's cueing her parents.
She's cueing.
She doesn't want to. Okay, just go ahead and speak for her.
In behalf of Olivia, welcome to Gormans Learning Center
Okay, we're starting.
Again? Okay, thank you.
When I first joined Pastor Manny's group 8 years ago, I was one of the new kids. Now I'm here, one of the few remaining students of the ones who joined around that time. Some of my favorite memories of homeschooling are the trips. I especially remember the trip to Albion in 2017, where there were a lot of massive slugs and where we also went canoeing. The trip to Arizona, where we spent a lot of time in the desert, and the more recent trip to DC in 2023, where I saw a lot of the families who were part of this group but have left since. During the school year, I had a relatively fun time doing my work compared to previous years. It wasn't easier, but it was more enjoyable. Once I started working, it wasn't hard to finish. I especially enjoyed working on history. All I had to do was read and write. I also learned a few lessons these past years. First of all, I learned that work is usually never as terrible as I think it is once I begin doing it. Second, I learned that what really matters is how much time and effort I put into something, not how soon I can get it done. Finally, I learned that everything I learn begins to matter at some point. Just this year, I learned how to solve quadratic equations and use the Pythagorean theorem, to name a few, and I've had to use those skills again and again. I won't even talk about how often basic math comes into the problems I work at, or any problem really. I would like to thank Pastor Manny, who worked with me to improve my work ethic, and Auntie Faye, who gave me all the necessary materials and LP records. The textbooks were always fun to read, and the work records were the only thing that kept me on track this year. Finally, I would like to thank my parents. My mom has always been patient with me, no matter how much of a pain I might have been to deal with. And I've only made it this far because of all the time and effort she's put in. My dad was my backup math teacher when my mom couldn't teach me how to solve ridiculously complicated math problems. And he also taught me some other fun skills outside of school. To conclude, my homeschool experience was quite long, and I learned a lot over the years. I also owe it all to everyone who helped me and invested their time and effort to do so. I will always be indebted to them.
Is it good? Huh?
Should I turn up the light?
I can lower it. I would do recommend doing the same thing. Pump up the all black, so that way the image pops up and not just regular black. You gotta go black, including that space for the camera at
Make sure it's not too bad. You can actually read text on the left.
What does it say at the bottom?
Oh, it's that's not inside. Lower thirds, yeah.
But you can't see it.
I know, the real life you can't, but I'm happy in video. Get lower jigs. We can't read the video. We can't read the lower jigs.
On the monitor.
From here, it's too far.
But if you're viewing,
From your camera, it's nice for
is that it?
No. Three and a half minutes.
Why is your audio?
It's the music.
Years old lang siya, bago nang kasama kami sa
I am posting it
I mean,
on the bridge.
like, when you're in
Still
memories with the phrase, somewhere between then and now. Here's my take on it. Somewhere between then and now, between who we were and who we are becoming. Somewhere between our dreams and our reality, somewhere between then and now, I grew up.
That's fine.
Somewhere between then and now, I fully transformed from a small little 6-year-old girl in first grade to a 14-year-old girl going into high school. Growing up, we may not have realized that it wasn't about the big changes, but rather the small ones that we left behind. I sometimes hear adults talk about generation as a key to solving our world's biggest problems. And just from listening to the conversations in classes, in between classes, or any memory I have with my friends, I can tell that they're right. Between all our hobbies, the awards we receive, and how hard we work in school, I have no doubt that we will leave a profound impact on the world at large. Looking ahead, I'll always be thankful to my parents, friends, relatives, teachers, pastors, and many more for helping me to become the person I am today. I'm very grateful to Pastor Manny and Auntie Faye for all the field trips, the delicious food they would offer every time I would go to their house, the monthly meetings, class meetings, and the boba they would treat us to after state testing. And for everything they have done for me, my family, and this homeschool group over the years. I'm also grateful to my parents for taking time out of their busy days to try and help me with my homework. For all the sacrifices they have made for me and my sister, for supporting me in my numerous hobbies, and supporting me in my love for music, and just for being the best parents I could ever ask for. We've begun sowing the seeds of our passions with the support that our parents, teachers, friends, and family have provided for us. But we have to give ourselves time to bloom. With each homework assignment, every test, and every experience we have in our lives, we'll begin to find our goal in life. With each new friend, we may be introduced to a topic we've never heard before. One conversation could change our destiny. Blooming won't be easy. We'll fail 1,000 times and maybe more. But every failure will only make us stronger, bringing us closer to our purpose. We'll just have to close our eyes and remember the little kids we once were. The little 5-year-olds would be ecstatic to see us come this far. Though some of you may have the next few years planned line by line, most of us don't even know what we're going to have breakfast for tomorrow. Let alone how we're going to navigate the world 5, 10, maybe 20 years from now. How are we to find our way? For that, we need to find ourselves, our passions. We'll have to figure out the person we want to become. So let's go forth into the world and make our dreams come true. The future belongs to us after all. It's all just waiting for me and you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Michael Montero, and our verse today is Hebrews 12:2. Fixing our eyes, the pioneer and perfecter of faith. For the joy set before him, he endured the cross, scorning its shame, and sat down at the right hand of the throne of God. Hebrews 12:2.
It is my privilege to introduce our speaker for the evening. While some people might focus on the fact that he is an accomplished surgical oncologist and director of the surgical residency program at the Loma Linda University School of Medicine, that is not who I would like to introduce you to. Instead, I would like to introduce one of my first Sabbath school teachers, my Pathfinder director, my math tutor, the one who taught me how to swim, how to ride a bike, and how to exterminate a whole colony of ants with a blowtorch. My dad, Juice Nom.
It's been 9 years since we lived here in Loma Linda, and it's really been an honor to watch all of you grow, and you guys are young adults now, you're no longer little children. But it really is an honor and privilege to be here this morning with you all, and it is really an honor to be asked to give the commencement address at this year's Gorman graduation. I'm going to read again the verse that was read earlier. I'm going to start from Hebrews 12, verse 1 and 2. And it reads, "Therefore we also, since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which so easily ensnares us, and let us run with endurance the race that is set before us, looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising shame, and has sat down at the right hand of the throne of God. So again, we're here to commemorate huge accomplishments of our graduates, all the students who are sitting here in the front. This is no small accomplishment. Every year we have graduation, but I want to remind you that around the world, there are 263 million children who do not or cannot complete their education. There are 60 million kids worldwide who can't complete elementary school. There's 60 more million kids who do not complete middle school. And there's 143 million kids who do not graduate from high school. And you might think, wow, are they lucky? They don't have to do homework or presentations. But most of them do not drop out by choice. They have to drop out because they need to make money for their family, to put food on the table. So many of them have to go to the streets to beg for food or go work in the fields so that they may have some food to eat. So I want to remind you all this evening that it truly is a privilege to learn. And in some of the group meetings that I was able to attend, I learned a lot from all of you. I learned about classical music. I learned about crocheting, which I have no idea how to do. I learned about basket weaving. I've never made a basket in my life. I've learned about flip books and how to use a light box. I learned about Gundam, which was pretty cool. And I also learned about Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, which was one of my favorite books growing up, but I could never build a replica diorama. And that's how you build such a But really is a privilege to learn, but greater still is a privilege that you all have to have parents who are not only smart enough to teach you, but who are willing and patient enough to teach you. And you know, it's not because homeschooling is easier for your parents. Certainly it's probably not easier for you. But your parents homeschool you because they believe that there's no one else in this world who cares more about your success than they do. So I want to ask you, how do you define success? So you might think about financial success. So how many of you know who is the richest person in the world? Anyone? Yes. Elon Musk? Good. He used to be. Now he's number 2. Yes. 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 Mark Zuckerberg, he is number 4. But he's up there, okay? Yes. Bill Gates, he's even lower. I think he's like 5 or 6. Yes, in the front. Who? Jesus, oh yes, he is, but he doesn't count. Yes, okay. Yes. Mixer Beast, is he a YouTube person or something? He's probably very rich, but he's not up there. Alright, so, okay, last guess. Yes, Jacob. Santa, yes, he's probably very rich. Yeah, his elves. Okay, so I'll tell you. So, number 2 is Jeff Bezos. Yeah. Or number 3 is Jeff Bezos. Number 2 is Elon Musk. And number 1 is a guy named Bernard Arnault. He's a French guy, but he owns a lot of different companies with things that your parents probably buy all the time, okay? But they are worth over $270 million. So I'm $70 billion, okay? Now, I want to ask you, if you want to be the top 1% in the world in terms of riches, how much money do you think you need to have? Top 1%. What do you think? $1 trillion? No, less than that. Yes. 1,000? A little bit more than that. Yes. 1,000 billion? That's $1 trillion, but less than that. So I'll tell you, if you have $700,000, okay, you're in the top 1%, okay? So I don't have $700,000, but you can be in the top 1%. Now, if you can afford to drive a car in California, how many of you guys have a car? Yes? How many of you guys pay for gas? Yeah, or some of you might have electric cars. If you can afford to drive a car in California, you are in the top 10% of the wealthiest people in the world. Do you know that? Now, what's also crazy is that the people that are in the top 1% of the richest people in the world, they have more money than the bottom 90% of the world, all combined. Isn't that crazy? So money is one way that you might define success, but other people might say success is music. So you guys might know some famous musicians, you might have favorite bands, and they make millions of dollars for every concert or every record that they sell. But what about sports? If you're a sports fan, they make millions and millions of dollars and they get all this applaud and awards and people worship some athletes, right? But guess what? Athletes come and go and there's always the next person that they say, oh, this person is the GOAT. No, this person is the GOAT. So you're always chasing something. But if you're here in Gorman, we talk about success as maybe academic success. All of you are very, very talented and very smart. So I want to share with you a little bit about my academic journey. And it might be a little bit different from your experience. But my parents, they immigrated from Korea. How many of you have been to Korea before? All right, not that many of you. I hope to go again sometime. They grew up, my mom was a nurse, and so she had a lot of Filipino friends. And my dad worked for Ford because we lived in Detroit, Michigan, and that's kind of the capital of cars back then. So, you might think growing up here in Loma Linda that everyone is Asian and everyone is Adventist, but in the rest of the world, that's really not the case. So where I grew up in Michigan, I was one of the few Asians, and there were actually 2 Asians in my elementary school. And it was myself, and there was a classmate who was a Filipino girl. And so she was my only Asian friend, and I think that's why I couldn't marry a Filipino woman later on. But because I looked different, I had to go to ESL, I had to go to English as second language class. But the next year, I was selected to go to a special talented and gifted program. And I studied hard, I did my homework, I did what my teacher asked me to do, and I did well in high school, took a lot of advanced classes, did well on the ACT and SAT, and ended up being valedictorian of my high school. And on those exams, like maybe the CASP exam, also you kind of get a percentile, like to see where you stand compared to your peers. And so on those exams, for some reason, somehow, I was able to get 99th percentile on those exams, which means that I was in the top 1% in the whole country. Okay? So I don't say that to brag or anything, because where did that get me? Same place as all of you, Loma Linda. So we're all here, right? We're in the Holy Land. But certainly, I wanted to share that looking back, it had nothing to do with me. Because I had no idea what to do. My parents were immigrants from Korea. They didn't know how to navigate through colleges and high school. They just said to study hard, get good grades. They didn't care as long as they got good grades. But I didn't know how to get into the top colleges. I didn't know how to apply for scholarships. But somehow, doors opened for me to get to where I needed to be. And as Ian introduced, I got into medical school and residency, and now I get to work here at Loma Linda and teach future doctors for a living, which I really, really enjoy. But ever since I was young, my parents taught me this one rule that I want to share with you today. And if you forget everything about this talk, just remember this one rule. before I tell you the rule, I just want to let you know that in life, and especially in my life, I faced a lot of distractions, right? And I know all of you have a lot of distractions, even right now, because you're distracted, because the speech is very long and boring, right? But it's going to be over soon, I promise. And we're going to have some good food over there. But the older you get, I have some bad news for you. The older you get, the more distractions are going to come your way. So for example, when I was younger, actually life was a lot simpler back then. If you talk to your parents, life was a lot simpler back then. So when I was growing up, we had one TV, right? One TV. And there was no such thing as a TV on your phone, right? You guys all can just watch TV on your phone, watch videos on your phone, but that didn't exist. We had one TV, and my siblings and I, we had to fight over what TV show we're going to watch, right? If you wanted to change the channel, you had to get up and turn the knob to change the channel. If it was fuzzy, you had to hit the TV or move the antenna or put aluminum foil on the antenna. So you have no idea what I'm talking about, but your parents know exactly what I'm talking about, right? And the best TV shows only came on from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. That's it. And after that, TV wasn't really fun to watch, right? And so we had to wait every week for our favorite TV show to come, right? If you want to listen to music, guess what? You have to be lucky and hopefully your favorite song will pop up on the radio, or you have to buy what's called a cassette tape. You guys even know what a cassette tape is? Yeah, you do? Oh, I'm impressed. So you put it inside this cassette player, and you press play, and you listen to a song, and if you want to listen to it again, you have to rewind it. You have to wait for it to rewind. And then you can listen to it again. And then if you finish that side, you have to take it out and flip it over to the other side and put it back in. And sometimes it got messed up, the tape in there, so guess what? Use a little pencil to fix it, right? So anyways, life was much simpler back then. We didn't have YouTube, we didn't have the internet. Okay, guess what guys? I existed before there was internet. Yeah, back in the 1900s, as my kids would say. 1991 is when I got my first computer, when we first got internet, and it was so exciting waiting for the internet to boot up. Listening to those sounds. And finally, got internet. And internet's not like it was today. If you want to watch a video, you have to wait 30 minutes for it to download before you can watch a 2-minute video, right? So anyways, what I wanted to say is that these days, your parents probably protect you from many distractions in life. They help you to focus on what's important so that you can be successful.
Log on.
But
LLFC Media YouTube.
when you go off to college,
Little disclaimer.
right? You might not have parents to tell you what to do, what not to do. You'll have to make your own decisions.
Search. That's it.
And I would say that success has nothing to do with how smart you are, but it has everything to do with how committed you are, how hard you're willing to work, how much you're willing to persevere despite obstacles and struggles. So guess what? I'm still in school. Did you guys know that? Yeah, I'm just finishing the 39th grade this year. Yeah, isn't that amazing? 39th grade, yes. So they can do the math and you can guess how old I am. But what would happen if me as a surgeon, if I stopped studying, if I stopped learning? Would you guys want to get surgery from me? Probably not, yeah. So constantly learning, and I developed those skills to study for many, many years. So what is this magical rule that I want to share with you all this evening? So before I tell you the rule, I'm going to tell you another story. So the story, it's a story of the tortoise and the hare. How many of you guys know that story? Yes? You guys all know it? Oh, then I don't need to give this speech. You guys all know the story, yeah? You don't know? Okay, for you, I'm going to tell you the story, okay? So once upon a time, there was a tortoise and there was a hare, a rabbit. And the rabbit made fun of the tortoise and said, "You're so slow, how can you get anywhere? I I'm so much faster than you, and the rabbit would run around the tortoise and make fun of the tortoise. And the tortoise said, you know what? I'm tired of you making fun of me. Let's have a race. And the rabbit just laughed and said, you race me? Okay, fine, let's have a race. This is gonna be fun. So the rabbit went to town and invited all the townspeople and said, we're gonna have a race. The tortoise wants to race me. And so everyone gathered, they said, we gotta see this. And so they lined up and they said, on your marks, get set, go! And the rabbit dashed off into the distance. And before you know it, you couldn't see where the rabbit went. It was so far ahead. And the tortoise took 2 steps. And everyone was laughing at the tortoise. The tortoise kept on walking. And guess what? The rabbit was so far ahead, the rabbit said, this is boring. The tortoise is never going to catch up to me. I'm just going to take a nap. So the rabbit took a little nap. But it took a very long nap. And the tortoise passed the rabbit very quietly and kept going and approached the finish line. And the townspeople saw the tortoise approaching, and they started cheering and screaming and said, go tortoise! Go turtle! And the rabbit heard some screaming and woke up and said, what's going on? And at the time said, oh! They said, here we go, tortoise! And, oh no, the tortoise must be close to the finish line. And so the rabbit jumped up and sprinted towards the finish line as fast as he could. And he was catching up closer and closer and closer. The turtle was getting closer and closer and closer. But before the rabbit could catch up to the tortoise crossed the finish line and won the race. Can you believe it? Yay! Give a hand for Mr. Tortoise. Yes. And so, what is the moral of that story? I wonder. So, the rule that I want to share with you, I want you all to remember, is that I want you all to never lose sight of the goal. Maybe I'll say that one more time. Never lose sight of the goal. Similar to what Yanni said in her beautiful speech as well, look ahead and never lose sight of the goal. Now, what is the goal? What is the goal of education? And this is for parents and family and friends and also for all the students. Sister White says, the work of education and the work of redemption are one. The work of education and the work of redemption are one. So what is the goal of education? The goal of education is for us to all get to heaven. And there are many young people in this world who lose sight of the heavenly goal. They get distracted by the things that shimmer and sparkle in this world. I'm going to read another quote to you, also by Sister White. It says, the greatest want of the world is the want of men and women. Men who will not be bought or sold, men who in their innermost souls are true and honest, men and women who do not fear to call sin by its right name, whose conscience is as true to duty as the needle to the pole, men who will stand for the right though the heavens fall. So she says, true to duty as the needle to the pole. Are there any Pathfinders here? Yes? What do you guys think when she says the needle to the pole? What is she talking about? Pathfinders, you guys do any orienteering? The needle of a compass always points to
Sanctuary.
the North Pole, right? Always. And so he says we need to be as true to duty and fix our eyes onto our Savior, just as the needle is fixed to him. So throughout high school and college, I decided that no matter what, that would be my goal. I decided I wasn't going to compromise. I was going to keep God first. and keep my beliefs and my principles in mind. And the one area that frequently came up in my high school, because I went to a public high school, was the Sabbath. And there were parties on the Sabbath, there was prom on the Sabbath, there were concerts on the Sabbath, there were exams on the Sabbath, and there were sports competitions on the Sabbath. Even my college graduation was on the Sabbath. But I made a promise that no matter what, I was going to honor God. And I played varsity tennis, I was varsity cross country and track, and I told my coach, I said, Coach, I'm sorry, but I won't be able to participate on the Sabbath. And fortunately, I had a very understanding coach, and he said, okay. But my friends, they always ask me, why don't you come on Saturday? We need you. And I told them, I'm sorry, that's when I go to church, and that's what I decided. But it really was a blessing because a lot of my friends would ask me about church and about God, and I could share with them about our beliefs and how wonderful the Sabbath was. And by the time I graduated, everyone knew that I was the student that didn't do any activities like that on the Sabbath. So I wanted to close with one more story about running. So I told you I ran cross country. And I want to tell you a story about a race that I was in, just like the tortoise and the hare, okay? So cross country is a team sport where everyone runs 5 kilometers. Okay? That's 3.1 miles. Okay? I know some of you ran a mile for your Presidential Fitness Award, yeah? Right, so imagine doing that 3 times, okay? And so we trained, and after school we'd run anywhere from 5 to 10 miles a day. And the race, it was very, very demanding and challenging and hard, I would say. But as hard as it was physically, it was harder mentally. Okay? When you're running and doing your best, your lungs are burning, your feet, your legs are burning, it feels like jello, and you feel like you just want to stop and just lay down, because everything is just burning and hurting so much. But your team is depending on you to finish the race. And as you're running, your brain is literally telling you, just stop, just stop. You can't make it. And people do crazy things when they're running because it just does something to your mind. So people would do crazy things like they would shave their head so that they could maybe run a little bit faster and more aerodynamic, right? They would shave their legs so they could be a little more aerodynamic. They would not wear socks. Maybe think they'll be a little bit lighter. And some people didn't even wear underwear when they ran. Maybe they got milk and go faster. I don't know how they ran, but that's another story. Okay? But anyways, one race, our school, we were okay, but not the best. But we had to compete against one of the best schools in our conference. And in cross country, every place counts. And if your team gets the top 3 places in a race, then you automatically win. Okay? So we knew that we needed to get at least one person in the top 3 positions in order for us to even have a chance. They were very, very good. The bad news was that one of our top winners, the best runner, he was a little bit hurt. He was injured. And so we started the race, and the first mile, we're all running, and we're all trying to keep up with the best runners. And we're doing pretty good. But guess what? After 1 mile, our top runner, he had to be loud. He had to stop because he got hurt. So I looked around, and it was just me and 3 other guys on the other team. So I knew I had to keep up with him no matter what. And so the second mile, I was doing my best. I was hurting. I was breathing hard. My muscles were screaming. But I kept going. And there was one part of the trail where it goes into the woods. So I went to the woods, and as I was running, there was a branch that was sticking out. And I ran by it, and it cut my shoulder. And I was like, and I was like, God, why did you let that happen to me? And I was so mad. I'm trying to do my best here. Guess what?
Does it work?
I got cut.
Not working enough?
My brain converted all the pain in my legs to my shoulder. So I didn't feel pain in my legs anymore, and I got this jolt of adrenaline. And then I just said, I got mad, and I just started running faster. I said, I don't care if something, I just ran, and took off. And those three guys were like, what is he doing? And so they tried to come after me. And two of them came up and they felt that really. And it was just me and one, their best runner. And we were running. I said, I just have to finish. I just have to finish. Finally, that last turn, finish line. I said, I just have to finish. And I couldn't feel my legs anymore. And crossed the finish line.
What a suggestion.
The other guy just barely beat me, unfortunately, but I got second place. But that was my goal, just to get to the top three. And so, my team had a chance. So my goal was just to get in the top three, and I was able to accomplish that because that's all I thought about. And after I crossed the finish line, I collapsed. I was so tired, I couldn't even drink water. Because to drink water, you have to hold your breath for about 5 seconds, and I couldn't even hold my breath. I was panting so hard. But unfortunately, my team still lost. But at least I gave him the chance, right? And I'll remember that race for the rest of my life. So I want to read again Hebrews chapter 12, verse 2.
I have to use the camera.
And it says, therefore we also, since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which so easily ensnares us. Let us run with endurance the race that is set before us, looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and sat down at the right hand of the throne of God. So the author here says we are surrounded by a great cloud of witnesses. If you look around, you're surrounded by your parents, your family, friends, your fellow students, pastors, people who want you to succeed not only on this earth but in heaven. The verse also says, lay aside every weight, every sin, every distraction. The devil is going to try to distract you from the finish line, from the goal. But I want you to remember to keep your eyes on the prize. Focus on the finish line. Look to Jesus, because he was able to endure everything on the cross, because the joy that he saw on the cross was each one of you in heaven with him, your family in heaven with him together. And he was able to endure the cross. And if he was able to do that, he can empower each one of us to do that as well.
Is this connected?
So just remember that although you might be young, as you get older, there'll be more and more people who are depending on all of you. Some of you might be doctors, nurses, you might be designers, artists, musicians. But there'll be people who look to you, look up to you, your family, your friends. But I can guarantee that if you follow this one rule, to keep your eyes on the end goal, you will have success. It might not be how the world defines success, or even how your family defines success.
This is yours.
But how heaven defines success, which is the most important. So I just want to encourage you that whatever you set your mind on, whether it's good or evil, you will achieve that. And so let's fix our eyes on Jesus, and the heavenly goal in heaven, and all these things will be added unto you. Thank you so much.
Here we are. Can't believe it. This is probably one of those that, this is one of our larger classes. It's not every year where we actually have a graduating senior. I remember Ian also telling me, Uncle Manny, you cannot leave homeschool until at least I graduate from 8th grade. Yes. Yes. Blake will be the second person that I will have the privilege of seeing complete all the way to 12th grade. I consider that an honor and a privilege. The first person and the only other person who graduated all the way to 8th grade was my daughter, Tabitha. And just so that we know you're in good company, this weekend, I got a chance to see her graduate again from the Seattle University Law School. So, Blake, you're in good company. That looks for you. I like what Uncle Bruce had to say. He says, remember what he said? He said it in 6 words. Fix your, maybe 5. Fix your eyes on Jesus. He said, fix your eyes on the goal. I just wanted to say, fix your eyes on Jesus. And then I'm just going to add 3 words to those that Uncle Jukes had to say. While you keep your eyes on Jesus, 3 words. How many words, kids? 3 words. Here they are. Never give. Never give. So I'm proud of you. You're a great class of 2024. This is the class known as the COVID class. While many of the students got to experience in 2020 what it means to homeschool for the very first time, you guys fared really well because you knew you were already doing it. Everybody was trying to learn and you were right on course. But it's interesting that as I listened to 4, how many did we go to? 4 or 3 graduating class this past week, they were talking about how this 2024 class is the resilient class. It's the class who's got hit everything and yet managed to finish the goal. And I want you guys to know that. And so today, I have a privilege to call each of these kids up front. But you know, unlike regular school, these kids don't finish alone. They finish in company. There's a saying, and I'm going to misrepresent the saying, right? It's a famous saying that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And so, this is why we do homeschool. Because we believe that if we understand the concept, that life is not about going fast, it's about getting to the finish. Alone. So when I call the student up, I will actually have the families be the one to move. So first of all, can we hear your
Use the mic, Master.
So here's what we're going to do. We're going to call each one up. We're going to take a task. We're going to stand and we're going to smile. We're going to go to each one. And then we're going to say a prayer of dedication.
Do you have any graduation experience?
So the first person I want to call up is Rachel Love Gomez.
Let's go. faint with you. Don't mess with audio, I'll mess with your audio.
Somebody's blocking the
Spotify's on
camera.
low. I'm gonna put
Somebody's blocking the camera.
Spotify be 100. Hey, I'm gonna turn my sound up.
The next person that we're going to have be graduated his sister
Be seated.
is Natalia Montero.
He's back there. I'll ask him.
You don't have that luxury in big graduation.
And the next student we have is, oh, I am so sorry. Can I do a reboot? It would help if I do Can we try that again? I am so sorry. My goodness. Got so emotionally caught up. Here we go. Rachel Love Ibasco Gandeza. Let's try that again.
There are only few somebody.
Are you good, Nicole?
Thank you so much for that.
Sure, he didn't know. The minute that he saw me, I'm like, oh,
Thank you. The next person is Natalia Gal Guantero.
You see when you flash it? Good.
The next person is Olivia Elise
Maybe somebody
T.
sent
Zabor.
what's that?
You don't have that luxury in big graduations.
I made a new sign. There you go.
Perfect.
The next person we have,
Nice.
going all the way to 8th grade, is Fenton Aliana Alfonso.
The advantage of a small school.
Same name, so.
I graduated from Gormans middle school, 8th grade. Three of us. I was class president and valedictorian. Three. There were seven graders. From kindergarten to 8th grade, total 63 kids.
The next person that we
Ninth grade,
have
high
is
school, more than 600.
Ian Jukes. You did it. Blake Talion Kihata. apologize. Thank you, John, if you like that.
I didn't see it. Sounds bad.
Dear God, it's been a beautiful journey. From the first step to the 12th step, everyone and every step is so special. This one's beautiful because I'm seeing these kids grow. Almost be like our kids. And I'm so thankful for them. So thankful for their journey and their accomplishments. So thankful for where you are taking them and where they are going. But I thank you for the very first steps. Thank you for these 3 wonderful girls. Thank you for Rachel Love. And I thank you for the and I thank you for Olivia. Each one different, each one unique. But you created them so special in their own way. And God, I pray that they start this journey. And they continue this journey knowing that you are with them, that you are with their family, that they journey this with victory in sight, with Jesus supporting them. And then God, I pray for our 2 amazing 8th graders, Yanni and Ian. I still remember when they first started. I still remember when they first played our first kickball. Ian was there. Didn't want to lose. But God, the good news today is that each of your children are never losers. They're always victorious. And so I'd like to give a special blessing as they continue forward to high school. That you guide them in the way. God, that they know who they are in you. That they see themselves special. That they know that they will be successful not because of what they do, but because of who they know. So will you continue to mold them and make them your princess and your prince? Let your glory shine upon them, God. And I thank you for what you will be doing in their life. And God, it's been a good 12 years of journey for teaching. Haven't had an easy one. There were days of agony, and days of remembrance, and days of you can do this. But God, He never gave up. He stuck. He had His eyes focused. And I'm so excited about the plans that we have made for Him. And Blake, I just want to say that verse for you. For I know the plans I have for you. Plans for success in a good future. And God, I thank you for the future that you will have for us. For where He will go and continue to go. Help Him grow. Help Him overcome the things that will hinder Him from becoming successful. And help Him know that He is the worthy of your lives. And so today, God, I just give you the honor, the glory, and the praise. For truly, as our theme says, you created us special and unique and a masterpiece in your eyes. In Jesus' name, and all God's people say,
No, just replay it. Oh, I guess we have a speaker. Yeah. Go ahead and pause it, please. And they're closing soon.
One more speech. I know you guys are getting impatient, you want to leave, but just one more speech. And after that, I don't know if I can deliver this speech, but by the grace of God. I'd like to start by reading one of my favorite verses from the Bible. from Jeremiah 29:11, and I'm sure you heard Pastor Andy say this just a few seconds ago. But it goes like this. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you a hope and a future. Congratulations, everyone. We've done it. From LP 1 to 10 and back to LP 1. Projects, assignments, after all the I-ready tests. We did it. We finally reached the starting line. I-ready for summer. That's what I said. I'm supposed to give a reflection of the educational experiences that I've had thus far. But I'm afraid I don't have a big enough reflective surface to reflect on. Even just to look back on my high school experience, or just this year, would be a task deserving of one of Mr. Snowden's research projects. I know only some of you may get that, but all you need to know is that his papers are no joke. I've experienced a lot, learned a lot, and have grown a lot more in my time at Gormans. Well, I wouldn't say a lot. In here. Yet, as much as I've experienced, as much as I've known, and as much as I've been taught, and scolded as well, I feel as though, in terms of the educational process, I haven't changed. Surprisingly, it's one thing to know and to learn, but it's another to understand and apply change. One consistent theme that keeps popping up every time I think about what my speech is procrastination. I keep thinking, maybe I should give a speech, like some inspirational speech about how the key of success at its very core is an ethic of hard work. And then this voice popped up in my head. But Blake, how can you talk about that if all you did was procrastinate? Okay then, how about a witty speech criticizing the blights of the educational system by which subject? But Blake, you were too busy procrastinating to even be subject to such a thing, even if there is. The more I thought, the worse I felt about myself and how I treated learning. Is that all my high school has surmounted to? Mamui, LP8 is already LP8. Have you tuned in the samples for 67? This Blake thing, and I thought I wasn't doing well. That's what my friends said. Chasing already extended deadlines and feeling like you never really got a break or accomplished anything for that matter. Or helping your classmates not feel too bad about their progress since you're significantly farther back. I'm getting discouraged. So I'm not here as an example of a perfect student. But as a learning experience, one who understands, yet one who still struggles to find motivation. Pastor Manny would always tell me, keep your head above the water, stay on top of things, because once you start sinking, it gets a lot harder to go back to where you were, or something like that. But what I'm trying to say is, stay on top of the game. Value learning. Make the hard decisions. And put off that one extra episode of Initial G that will send you into a time-wasting spiral that will get you writing your speech at 4 a.m. in the morning during one of the busiest weeks of the school year. Because just how forming good habits gets easier the more you do it, so do the bad habits. As irrelevant certain things may seem, there is still value that can be found. There's only so much you can blame on circumstances, the system, other people, but in the end, you are still counting. When you reflect back, can you say, I did my very best? Did I do my very best? Have I stayed true to my principles? Have I used what God has given me to its fullest extent? Trust me, if you haven't already asked these questions now, you certainly will when you graduate and a lot more in the future. Yes, we all did it. We arrived at the starting line. But would you rather arrive at the marathon tired and drained, or swole and fully prepared, proud of where you came from? So resolve now, just like I am at this moment, to never stop understanding, to never stop caring, to keep your eyes in the goal, and to never give up, and to run the race that God has with Him in you. Before I end this, I know it's getting a bit long, but I'd like to express my gratitude to all those who have come here and were able to. I know there has been a struggle, but one thing that I am thankful for is God's gift. I'm just so thankful for all the connections I've made with people that I know less than. I thank God for the blessings of your foundation set through Pastor Matt. My future and my life will be very different, and I fear not in the best way. Despite all my slacking and procrastinating, God has given me grace. And because of all the support that I've received from all of you, I can face the coming future with confidence. I thank God for the blessings of lifelong friends. I see you all back there. You can wait a minute. And my best friend as well. I thank all the teachers who are here today, Miss Gia and Miss Rancia. Hi. And the ones who couldn't make it today. Thank you for your genuine care and the lessons in life you've taught us that we will never forget. I'd like to thank all of you, friends, family, my family in the Philippines, teachers, loved ones, Papa and DJ, and most especially my mom, who has always been there. Mama, thank you so much for everything that you have done, for staying up to help me finish assignments, for teaching me the importance of school, for being with me every step of the way. It's as if we just went to school together. When I have a deadline, you also make it yours. When I have problems, you have answers far more sufficient than any wise intellect could give. What you have taught me is something more than I know how to explain. So thank you for everything, Mama. Far beyond education, you all are the greatest gift I have received. As redundant as I may sound at this point, thank you all for listening. Thank you, and thank you. I hope to spend this next stage in life with you. God bless. I have one final word before we end. I know it's been long, I'll just bear with us a little longer. I know everyone seems to look like mommy. I'd like to read a poem, just a quick poem. Roses are red, and violet, and graduation is almost through. I know it doesn't come close, but with this, we'd like to thank you for all you've given, the sacrifice, the time, the love. For now, roses, to blessings from God above. Kids, we have roses here for you to give, for the special someone who taught us how to live. Oh, never mind.
not connected?
It's connected. That's the only one that I can move.
What about the one at the top?
No, the other one is damaged. I just fix it and then I put it at the back.
The one on top of the door?
Yes, it is damaged. So
The
I
camera or the mount?
Yeah,
The camera or the mount?
the camera.
Oh no.
So I fix it and I put it there at the back. So that I have the view of the GPs.
Okay, we're going to be doing the closing sign. This is the choir, right? Picnic choir?
All the students, yeah.
Move the mics.
appreciation for Pastor Manny and for Auntie Day. So I would ask that you to come up here, and we just want to say thank you so much for all of your support. Thank you for your time. I think many of us have heard Pastor Manny say that love is spelled T-I-N. And Pastor Manny and I certainly spend so much time making sure that we have everything we need, making sure we're returning our homework in on time. A lot of us have noticed the timestamps on today's emails at sometimes 2 or 3 in the morning. They burn the midnight light for us. And the other thing that I really want to thank you for is for creating this community for us. Sometimes homeschooling feels a little bit lonely. Feel like you're going against the grain a little bit. But they have created this warm support. They have monthly meetings for us where we all get together and eat and fellowship. And all those things are extra. They don't have to do all of that. They do it because they love us. They do it because they want us to have a wonderful experience and because they want to help us educate our children. So Pastor Manny, we wanted to present you with a picture of this year's graduating class. And Auntie Faye too.
Background. Great job. Thank you guys. Thank you.